In this video we're covering integration involving trigonometric functions. So on your screen there you can see integrals of trigonometric functions as well as the chain rule for these functions. I suggest you pause the video to write these down as these will be used in the examples going on throughout the video. So here's our first one. Find the integral of the function cos x. So if you remember, if you wrote down your notes, you should know that the integral of cos x equals sine x plus c. That's as simple as that one. Now if we move on to the next one, we've got sine 3x. Now we'll be using the following formula to solve this. So we have the integral of sine 3x dx. Now the a in our formula is our 3, so a equals 3 in this case. So if we follow the formula above, we'll get minus 1 over 3 cos 3x plus c. In our next example, we have 4 sine x over 2. So we're going to follow the same thing. So if we're finding the integral of 4 sine x over 2 dx, our a in this case is going to be 1 over 2. You'll also note that the 4, since it's out the front, we can bring that out here. So sine x over 2 dx. Focusing on our integral, we get 4 times minus 1 over a, but we have a equals a half, so that's going to be minus 1 over 2 cos x over 2 plus c, which we can simplify down further to get 4 times negative 2 cos x over 2 plus c, and finally the final answer will be minus 8 cos x over 2 plus c. Alright, so again, evaluate each definite integral. This time, remember, definite is because we have our values here and here, giving exact answers where appropriate. Alright, so we first need to start by finding our antiderivative of cos x. And as we saw in the previous first question we did, that turns into sine x plus c, but we don't need that for definites. And at the top here we'll have pi on 2, and down here we'll have 0. Now remember, your larger of the two numbers comes first, so in our case pi on 2, so we get sine pi on 2 minus sine 0. Now if you do remember, pi on 2 is 90 degrees, so pi on 2 equals 90 degrees, and sine 90 equals 1. Sine 0 is 0, so our answer is 1. That's our exact answer. Alright, using the formula there, if we have our 1 over 2, 0, sine pi x, we know that can convert. Just take note that a is pi in this case, so we can convert it straight through, so get minus 1 over pi cos pi x, and then we have a half and 0. So if we substitute these in, remember large comes first, so 1 over pi cos pi times 1 over 2 minus, I'm going to put some squares here just so I know each section. Alright, so I'll take some notes on the side here. So cos pi on 2, which is our first section, equals 0, and in our second section, cos pi times 0 equals 1. So knowing that, our front part will go to 1 over pi times 0 minus 1 over pi times 1 which gets us 1 over pi. So to recap what we've covered in the video, on your screen are your integrals and your chain rules. Have them handy when you're doing these type of questions so you can refer back to them.